This is Lela, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can find me at lelameinke.com. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you want to join, I would love to have you on my team. Otherwise, today is just for fun and for free. I'm doing a 12 weeks to a wow Christmas with Lela. We are in week 4. We're doing a countdown. We've got 8 weeks to go, and we're kind of doing a cycle. So we're doing a card, a bag, a box, and something fun. So we've done our card, we've done our bag. Last week we did a tags box, and then of course it naturally follows that we would make tags to go in the tag box. So that's the something fun. And what I wanted to share with you, I think there's maybe a few things to get out of today. One thing to get out of today is I've got a number of tag ideas for you that you could use and just kind of substitute the product, right? So that's point 1. Point 2 is if you want to use the product that I'm using, I will show you the product that I'm using, which is the Sending Cheer bundle mainly. And you can really get a whole lot of life out of it. And then the third thing is, the third main thing to get out of today is I'm going to talk through 4 steps for making tags in kind of a batch mode or a mass production mode. And so as I take you through the tags that I'm going through today, I followed these exact steps myself. I designed the tags, and there's kind of 3 options. You could use just the element. What do I mean by that? If you're going to use just the element, look at this little sweet potato, right? Look at this little gingy. So you could use just the element. That's a tag. And I'll show you the product in a moment, but that's from our Sending Cheer bundle. So you could use just, and I'm calling it an element. You can call it what you'd like, but you could use just the element. Or you could use kind of the element and the tag tied together. So that's kind of fun. That's the element and the tag. They're tied together. And like literally that's our tailored tags. That's literally a tag. And so you can have some fun that way. Or the final thing that you can do, and this is a little sneaky peek into a project that's coming in week 11. There's a flashlight in here. And so I have a tutorial, week 11, how to make these boxes out of 1 sheet of cardstock. I have a couple different box sizes, but the third option for the tags, so you can just use the element. You could use the element and the tag tied together, or you could have the element on the tag. So here I've got the element on the tag with the sentiment. And so, so those are kind of your 3 things. And a little sneak peek to boot. So you're going to design your tags, and you're going to decide which product you're going to use. The product I'm mostly using today is I'm using the Sending Cheer bundle. I've shown it in all my other weeks. It's a fantastic bundle. It comes with a stocking and gingerbread man and an envelope and a gift and hollies and berries and all the different things that you would want to say as you're giving a gift. Open me, no peeking, to and from, Sending Cheer. And they're a nice little size so that you can really have the decoration be the focus. And then here's the dies that come with it. Now, I've been mass producing a lot of tags, so I bought 2 sets. So you can just see, like, here's the gift, and here's little oval tags, and the Santa hat, and the stocking, and the little gingerbread man. I'm even going to show you how you can do gingerbread man even if you don't have the stamps. But anyway, here's a number of the stocking, you know, the poofs, I don't know what else to call them, holly and berries, some little hearts, and the present, etc., and the rectangle envelope tag. So I love, 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 love this Sending Cheer bundle. That's what we're going to be using today. So you decide your product, you design your tags, kind of having some prototypes in mind. You decide how many. Now, I'm only going to show you kind of maybe 1 or 2 of each today. Right now, I am actually making 56 tags because I'm making these cute little boxes for someone commissioned me to make these cute little boxes. So 56 of them. So 56 little tags, 56 cute little boxes. So that's my how many, but yours might be like how many can fit in the tag box. I'll be honest with you. I think you can fit about 12 inside the box we made last week. If you start to get to much more than that, it does start to get crammed a little full. Although I've started already making one for birthday and congratulations. So you might have just a couple little boxes for a couple different little themes. So decide how many. 12 weeks of Christmas, so 12 tags. Then you're going to stamp, die cut, and fussy cut, and then you're going to assemble in batch mode. So I've already designed them, and I'm going to show my tags to you as I go through them. I will tell you, you can go to LelaMonkey.com. You can get on my email list, and every week I send out a link. So you subscribe there. I send out a link. I've got free PDFs every week and link to this YouTube video every week. And I'm going to show you a gallery where I have all the tags and more photographed. So you can just take a look at that digitally or print it out. So you can see all the designs like in gallery format if you get the PDF. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of show them to you as we go through them today. So I've decided how many, just gonna be one or two for today. I've actually done a lot of the die cutting and fussy cutting. We're gonna stamp a little bit together, and then I'm gonna show you some tips for batch mode. So let's go ahead and get to it. And I guess one more thing I would show you as we're getting to it is with this 12 Weeks of Christmas series, I do have a kit available where, so for instance, when you, like, let's say it's week 3 and you want to make the custom box, I actually cut and score all of the cardstock elements for you. You pick the designer series paper. I even give you like that little circle. I give you the magnets that hold it together. So I have a kit that has everything, and I have a kit where I've done a lot of the die cutting for you already. And in some cases you don't need stamps, right? You can just put this stocking together just as it is. So so take a look at LelaMonkey.com for that kit as well. Take a look also down below. Hey, while you're here, please like, please subscribe. Thank you. Please comment. But so I've already done a lot of the die cutting and put it together in a little kit for you for the 12 weeks. And that's kind of what we're going to be working our way through here today. So for those of you who have the kit, you're going to learn how to assemble some of the things in your kit. I'm going to start actually with the holly and the berry, and I'm going to show kind of a batch principle, if you will. So what I did was, and I got this a little hard to keep straight over there, I die cut the holly and the berry out of designer series paper. And I just sat here, actually, while I was listening to church, I just sat here and rolled out a bunch of them. I also have a Santa's helper elf, and she helped me with some of them. But we're making this little holly and berry element. I've got them all die cut. I'm going to assemble them so that when it gets to wanting to use it, I can just grab it pretty easily, right? So for instance, where have I used it? I've used it a lot in the Santa hat, and I've used it a lot on the stocking, and I don't know, he's just super useful everywhere. So I'll show you a couple tips. I'm not going to make all of these in front of you, but I've got my die cut holly, my die cut berries. Actually, I love these from our Stampin' Up! Kits and our paper pumpkin kits. I love these mini glue dots. They're extra, they're free. They come in different sizes, so I like to use the small one for this purpose. This is just great to kind of get into batch mode and do this, but we also sell mini glue dots on a roll, and those are fantastic also, but I just like to be mindful with resources. So I'm just going to sit here, and I'm going to go boop, 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 boop. So I'm just going to get all of my little mini glue dots set up there, and then I'm going to kind of pop it off, and I'm going to put the berries on it. And that's it. He's ready. He can just sit in the little pile. I'm going to pop it off. I'm going to put the berries on it. That's it. He can just sit in the little pile. I'm not being super concerned about if 2 berries go in or 1 berries go out or whatever. I'm just kind of placing it. I am making sure to cover all of the green. I guess that's at the tip. That's the one thing I'm doing. But that's it, you guys. I just have my holly and berry ready. Now, if you were not using this little strip, if you were using this little strip, I would probably do it this way. I would take my roll and I would get the extra off. I've done this with ribbon and I've done it with die cuts. So there's a little mini glue dot right there. So we want it on top, right? So I would turn it upside down so it's there. Turn it upside down so it's there. So I would probably do these in lots of maybe, I don't know, 5 at a time, maybe 10 at a time. So I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to pull that off. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add my berries. The other option is you could put the berries on it and pull the berries off. I mean, there's all different ways, right? That's what we love about rubber stamping. But you could very easily get into a groove. I think it'll take no time at all for me to sit in front of the TV with Bob, watch TV tonight, and just get, even if I wanted to make 56 of these, get those all nailed up. So I'm probably not doing that many. I'm doing a variety on the bags. But anyway, that's it, right? So I can just sit there and get those done. And then they're there for future when I want to assemble. So I'm going to take that off, put it off to the side. That's that guy. Now working my way through, I'm just going to kind of use this as a guide now. So I've done that middle piece. You get, in the kit, you get 5 hollies, 5 berries out of cardstock. But working my way through, I'm going to do a stocking and I'm going to do a hat. I'm calling these elements. And I'm going to just get those ready. So I've got them here. Now you can do different things. Here's an option of kind of the 2 tags together, tied together, and I could put an open me or a no peeking or whatever, and I could put that, so that's stamped. You've got some different colors. Super cute, right? So that's a stocking version. But here, and in the kit, I have these elements and I want to show what they are. So if you own the kit so that you know what's happening, like what are all these pieces? So I will show you. For the hat on the left, I'm calling it a little poof and a big poof. And I guess, do you guys need to see the die cuts too as I'm doing this? So I guess I could do that. So when I was doing the holly and the berry, that's the holly, those are the berries. When I'm doing the hat, that's the hat. Doing the stocking, that's the stocking. That's a large poof for the stocking. That's a large poof for Santa's hat. Alternatively, you could have a different shape for the top of the stocking. And then here's a little small poof for the Santa's hat. So, so how I choose to do it, and I just taught this in a class yesterday, and someone was taking a look at my version just to see how it was done. So when do you use a dimensional, when don't you? I'm not going to dimensional the little small poof, I guess I would say, but I am going to use dimensionals for the big poof. So I've got that there, and I'm not going to use dimensionals for putting the heel and the toe on. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting the heel and the toe onto the stocking, and let me show those a little more closely. So the toe is a bit larger, so we're going to do that. We're going to put that on the toe. And in the kit, I have lovingly cut, or my Santa's elf and I have lovingly cut 5 stockings, 5 heels, 5 toes, 5 poofs for you, 5 hats, and 5 sets of hat poofs. So this is how you assemble the stocking. And I know it's a little different red. I kind of like I like varieties of red, etc. So that's the heel, that's the toe, that's how those go. And we will go ahead now and use a mini dimensional. Is that true? Yeah. We'll use mini dimensionals to put the large poof on. I'll just use a couple there. I'm sure there's a name for it. I don't know what the name is, but I have this checklist actually for, because there were a lot of things to put into this kit. So I have a checklist for everybody. Do I have 5 stocking poofs? Do I have 5 hat poofs? So I had to come up with some kind of name. Anyway, doing this again too over here. And then on this guy, and I haven't done it yet, I'm going to use a little heart because I think these hearts are cute. I rolled out a bunch of them. You get them in your kit, and I think they're cute. I'm going to try doing it this way because I think that red is still showing, and I mean, it's fine for right now. Well, no, it isn't. Yeah, it's fine for right now. I can't really get it up. Oh, I know. In this guy, I'm just going to put the heart right there. That's what I love about rubber stamping. You make a little mistake, and it's an invitation to say, what are you going to do now that you've made this little boo-boo? And then it's a little, I like it there, actually. Super cute. And then this guy, I'm just going to put over here, I thought, by the bigger section. And so, super cute. Now we've got our stockings. Again, I'm calling that an element. However, if I wanted to, I could very easily on the front stamp to or from. Let's look at the back. No, this is the Joy of Christmas designer series paper, and that's too messy, so we're not going to do that. But I could very easily stamp to and from on the front. But we've got our little stocking, and now we've got our little Santa hat, and I'm just going to put a couple little dimensionals here. And put the large poof for the Santa hat here. And so I could just kind of sit down in mass production mode and do that. Now, doesn't that look kind of a little bit like a Grinch hat? I'm kind of positioning this so that I can now take very easily one of my little holly berry elements. I can very easily kind of put it on here, pick up a mini glue dot. I can very easily just attach it to the little corner right there. And now I've got a sweet little hat. Again, I could stamp to or from on here. Can't really use the back right there. And we'll see how to use these guys in action a little bit later. So, so that is how those sending chair sweeties go together. And now working our way through. So we've done the stocking. Oh, what else is in here, by the way? Tags. So the word tags is in there, and that would be to fit on your tag box. These little stockings we're not going to use, but they fit on the fireplace. That's also included. So what do we have in here? We have some hearts, and we have some little tag toppers for our tailor tags. We've done our holly and berry. Really, I have a couple other things now that aren't in the kit, but they are in sending cheer. So I'll show you those. So let's go to the gifts. Oh yeah, and then let's do the gift, and then I have a rectangle and I have a gingerbread that are in the kit. Okay, so this is the gift box, and there's a few different ways you could do this gift box. It's got a couple pieces in the dies, and then it's got a couple pieces in the stamps. And so the stamp looks like that. It's going to stamp really nicely on the die. You don't even have to put it on the die. You can just use it. This kind of wrapping paper, ribbon, and bow fits. It fits perfectly in there. I was going to say it fits nicely in there, and more so what I would say is with very, very careful placement, it does fit nicely. So you can see an example here where I've stamped it. I love these colors together. So I've taken the rectangle die that is in the sending cheer kit. I've stamped it. I fussy cut this guy actually. So I stamped it in, I think these are the in colors, but I stamped it, and then I stamped the ribbon and bow as close as I could. You know, it's not 100% perfect, but it's close enough for me. Fussy cut it. And then this is a case of option 3 where I've got the element on the tag. And so I've done that. So there we go. And then I've got my little sentiment and just a fun little different expression of color for Christmas with that guy. Here's another one. This is a tag that it's the flora and fauna tags. I love tags, right? So it's the flora and fauna. But here's an example of I stamped the box, I die cut the ribbon and bow, I guess I want to say, and then I stamped a no peeking, and then I just put it right on a tag. So the sentiment's there, and then I used some gems. Super cute, right? So that's a super fun one. So let's do a little stamp, and let's just do it. So right over here in my sending cheer kit, I've got my gift. And I feel like I want to use, I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm going to get this right here. And I definitely want to have my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put that. Well, how's this color combination going to look? I don't know, but we're doing it, right? We're in and we're committed. So I've got I'm inking up my present, and honestly, with our clear photopolymer stamps and with the die cuts, it's actually getting easier and easier, I think, to position the stamp right on the die cut. Perfect. So we've got that guy. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the present right there. And I could add a little bow. I could just do anything I want. I'm going to use a little bit of glue to get this attached. And just the tiniest little strip like that. There we go. Oh, you guys, it's delightful. I'm sitting at my desk and it just started raining. Oh my gosh, it's delightful. We need rain. It's so peaceful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there we go. So there we've got our little gift. I can come in with my twine, and for today I'm using crumb cake. But honestly, you could use any color of twine that you have. And I'll show you this, guys. So what I like to do is I like to fold a little loop. I come in from the front. I take the loop going to the behind. I open up the loop, and then I pull my 2 strands through, and I give it a good pull. So it's got kind of the little latch in the front. I'm going to give it a little bit of a snip. Actually, those ends are pretty equal. I'm going to keep the ends pretty long because I don't know if I'm going to tie it to a bag or what I'm going to do. And then if I wanted to, I could bring in some gems. I could bring in a bow if I wanted to do that as well and kind of put that on there. But right now I'm going to bring in some gems. And the gems, well, the gems you get in the 12 weeks kit that I've been using are the festive pearls, and I love them. An alternative that I thought of and I love is the blooming pearls. They're a bit larger. And let's just go ahead and do it in gold. Let's just take a large gem in gold. Put it right in the middle there. Super cute. And then I could stamp to and from on the back. Why don't I do that? And then this, I could just very easily, frankly, this could be one of my 56 that I put onto one of the bags, right? So probably I should have done this before I put the gem on, but I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my to and from. I'm going to stamp it in real red. And I'm going to stamp it enough over to the left so that there's room to write the names. And there we go. That's our cute little tag. So that is a sample. That is an example of, I'm just using the element. I'm just going to tie it straight on the little bag. Now, I will tell you that, funny thing, I was I was so excited. I was telling my friend, oh my gosh, I'm focusing on tags right now, and I've got all these ideas for tags. And she said, well, what do you do with tags? I don't give a lot of presents anymore as much as we used to, or, you know, it's more of an experience, or let's go out to dinner or whatever. What do you do with tags? And so I came up with for her and for me and for you guys, I came up with a PDF, ways to use tags. So, and I'll show you some of these throughout the series. This comes with the free PDF of, you know, if you get on my email list, on a simple card, inside the pocket of a gift or a pocket card, on a cookie like in a cello bag or a pet cookie, on a handmade bag, large, small, on a store-provided bag or box, handmade box. You could put it on a plant, a balloon, etc. Wrap it around the neck of a stuffed animal. So you can see all those, and you'll see some as we're going through. All right, next up, I'm going to do gingerbread. And I have 2 ideas with gingerbread. one idea with gingerbread is in the kit, you get 5 basic white stamped little gingerbread bodies. And so this looks great stamped in pecan pie. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp him. He stamps very straight. He or she stamps very straight. It may be a little bit different because I'm so far away, but we're going to go ahead and stamp it. It is luscious with pecan pie. And it's funny, I had someone over making these tags yesterday. Oh my God, did she have fun. She stamped it and she said, oh, there's a little bit of variation in the ink color. Like it's not the same saturation all the way around. But I looked at it and it looked just like a cookie that would come out of the oven. So I'm a little far away. Normally I would have this right under my nose, but doing the best I can. I'm centering it and I'm telling you, I am having great success rolling out the die cuts first and then coming back and stamping. Again, I'm a little far away, so fingers crossed to see how that went. He looks great. And you can even see what I was talking about, like the head might be a little bit darker, but it just looks like a little bit like that part of the cookie cooked a little bit longer. So, oh my gosh, love these gingerbreads. They're so cute. So there's a couple options from here. Well, first we'll do the face. And the face we will do with just a Memento Black. So we'll go ahead and stamp little face for sure. And then there's a couple options like how to decorate. Let me pull this closer because it's gonna matter if little face is crooked. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh. So we don't know if that's a boy or a girl, but we'll make that decision. So we've got little face and we have a couple choices what we can do. First of all, in the kit, or depending on what dies you have, I include, and where'd they go? Well, I'm gonna have to take it out because things got a little messy-bessy here, but I include in the kit, oh my gosh, where did it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Well, I'll show you here because not finding it. So here's my other idea, by the way, but ignore that. I include 3 of these little guys. This is actually from a completely different stamp set. This is from die set. This is the one with the kite. That's a kite tail. So I roll that through with Poppy Parade, and you can either put it on the little head or you can put it as like a little bow right there. So that's one option. The other option is you could take little hearts, and I've dropped everything, so I'm just gonna have to open it up and take a little heart out. You could take the little hearts, and these do come in the sending cheer. Tiny, tiny, tiny little dies. You could put the tiniest little dot of glue, and again, I have success doing tiny little dots of glue with Tombow. There are some fine tip applicators, but really, you can really get versed enough. And then you would take the back of take your pick tool where it's got some putty on it, and you would pick up the front of the heart, and you would very carefully come over and place your little heart right there. And there's 3 of them, so I'm not going to show you how to do all 3, but you can very easily place your hearts right there. And what I love about glue is I can still kind of move it around and manipulate it around to get it positioned right in. So a few different options for decorating little gingerbread. And then the final one, let's say you got the 12 weeks kit and you don't have the stamps. How can you take like this basic white gingerbread and do something with it, right? So what I did was I made a little template and I cut out a cute little shirt and a cute little bow. So there are always ways to do things if you don't have all the supplies. Like if you've got the little cuts, die cuts, you could absolutely do that. And the way that I made that shirt, I cut up one of these guys and I traced it. I cut up one of these guys and then I used that to trace on the designer series paper. I am recording. And then I cut the shirt So that's how I got that little cute little gingerbread, and you can put that little hat, and that's good. So that's the gingerbread. You can put a little bow on it. And then one other idea is with the paper pumpkin kit this month, they came with like this glitter glue that came in a squirty bottle. I was thinking I could take that squirty glitter and kind of use it for the icing on the sides. So anyway, lots and lots and lots of options with little gingerbread. Again, still just getting all my elements ready. The element, I could put an element and a tag together, or the element on the tag. So now we're gonna go to the rectangles and the circles. So with the rectangles and the circles and the little ovals, now this guy, you can do a lot with this guy. You can use it. You can start to take your Santa hat. You can start to take your gingerbread. You can start to take your present and use this as a background tag. Or you could do something really, really cool that was in the catalog as a sample and the original thing that it was intended for. If you have the stamps, this is an envelope stamp. So you could take the envelope stamp, stamp it on the rectangle, take the oval stamp, take one of your holly and berry combinations, take your twine, maybe take a little bit of ribbon, and here you have a whole new element. So let's take a moment and get this all decorated. So I've got my rectangle, I've got my envelope stamp. I'm gonna go ahead and get that on my block. I feel like petal pink is a good color, so I'll go ahead and do the petal pink. I'll get that stamped. Again, I'm a little far away from it, so that one has a little smudge now. I'm a little far away from it, so hopefully I'm getting a good impression. But there's my little envelope. I mean, this is one of the reasons I loved this tag kit, actually, is I love this envelope. And then when I got it, I'm like, what do you do with it? Like, how do you use this envelope? But in fact, totally works out just fine. So there's that guy. And then there's a couple different directions you could do this in. I'm gonna stamp mine this way. I'm following along actually with the sample in the catalog. And so following along with the sample in the catalog, I can take my For You and I can stamp it in Poppy Parade. And get that stamped right on the oval. Now I can use this here as a tag on a tag, or I could just use this little oval. Like I could very easily just use this little oval on a little gift bag and just have it hanging there super duper cute, right? But in this case, I'm going to have that guy. I'm gonna take one of my holly and berries that I've got, and I'm just gonna build out my little tag here. Now, this could be so much fun. This activity could be so much fun kind of in batch mode if you have a bunch of different ribbons and different twines, right? You could just sit there with, because here I was using that color ink and then very similar to that color ribbon, right? So, and that color twine, but I could absolutely have done things a little bit different ink color and a little bit different twine and a little bit different ribbon, etc. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put my holly and berry on a little mini glue dot. I'm gonna go ahead and get him added. Now this is if you have sending chair stamp set. If you don't have sending chair stamp set, I'll show you that in a minute, but that's that guy. If I wanted to, I could add a few little gems, and the gems that come with the kit, of course, are the festive pearls, and I think I'll use just 3 little red ones. I'm gonna tell you my experience with these guys. If it's gonna get a lot of activity, you may want to put an additional little bolster of a tiny little bit of liquid glue under it, because I find that sometimes I go there and I look and it's like, oh, where'd the one gem go? So you might bolster with just a teeny little bit of liquid glue. But if it's not going to get a lot of traction, then you're fine. Then you can go ahead. So how this happened, let me find a little piece of ribbon. So let me take, let me just do, oh, darn it. Well, all right. It's not going to 100% match, but it'll be fine, and it's a little thick. So let me put this through. So now what I'm doing, this is a little different way to do a tag. I'm going to, and it's very thick, so fingers crossed. I'm going to put the ribbon through the tag as though it was the twine, and then I'm going to wrap a twine bow around it. And this is, so it's pretty thick ribbon, so I'm getting it so that it's kind of a narrow opening to thread it through. I might need a little bit of help with scissors. You want to be gentle. Scissors are, here, take your pick tool. You want to be gentle. You don't want to force it. These tags are great. They've got a nice size opening. All right, perfect. So I've done that. Now I'm going to come through. Oh my gosh, the rain is so beautiful, you guys. I wonder what Bob wanted. We are planning a trip to Hawaii right now. However, then we saw what the budget was going to be, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so I've cut my ribbon, but what if I just wanted to dress it up just a little bit more? I can come in with a piece of twine, and I can wrap my twine right around, like above the neck of where the bow is, and tie a little bow. Oh, darn it. Yeah, let me go slower. Let me go slower. I might not have cut a long enough piece. Let me wrap this around. And then get it positioned right, which I want it just above the neck. I'm gonna come in and give a tight pull. And then assuming that I cut the twine long enough, I can do 2 little rabbit ears and a couple of bows. And so, perfect. Alrighty, so that's a super cute tag. So there we go. I can snip off the little ends. And there we have it. And you can see how colors really make the difference, right? So you can really play with different colors, different positions, etc. So super fun. Those are those two. Again, I'm calling that an element, and I'm putting that off to the side, but it could very well just be a tag. It could very well just be something that I attach. And you know what? Maybe I'm just going to dimensional it to a box and call it good. Maybe I'm going to put it on a big circle, right? So we'll get to that in a minute, where we kind of take all these elements we have and start to do some things with them. So that's that guy. Now let's say I've got this rectangle, and let's say I don't have the envelope, so I can't stamp it. I don't have sending chair, but I did get the kit, and I want to do something fun, right? So I can take this guy, and now this is where I can come in, and maybe I take the, let's take the hat that we decorated. Maybe I take the hat, and I put the hat on here, and I could do one of two things. I could twine those two guys together, right? I could, so this is where I told you really tags are just the element and the tag tied together, or the element on the tag. So I could either tie those together and then stamp like a sentiment underneath, to and from, or I could kind of turn it sideways and put a little hat there, put a little bit of twine that way, a little bit of ribbon that way. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this, so now we're actually making a tag, right? So, so I'm gonna put this in the corner. He's already got enough dimension, so I'm not gonna add any more dimension there. I'm gonna put a little bow up here because I want a little bow. And this is a bow maker. I have these, by the way. I just ordered some of them, so I'd have them in the store here. So if you need them, I have them. And I'll just show you. We go over, we go behind, we come around, we go through, we pull taut, and we get a snip. So that's that guy. I'm happy to, the instructions that come with it are fantastic, and I'm happy ever to take you through it. I do actually, I have a stamp with Lela that's free on Monday nights where we get together and we dial in 6 p.m. California time, and a bunch of us from across the country get together and we just sit and stamp together. And sometimes people come into that and they just really want to like ask a question. So that's a great way. All right, so here you guys, we're building our tag. So I've got that guy, and then what do I feel like putting? You know what? I feel like putting no peeking. So I'm gonna take, and what color do I want no peeking? I think I'm gonna do it in Old Olive. So I've got no peeking. I could do it in black for sure. I really like, now our colors match. I also like to kind of mix it up and have some variety. I probably would have, well, I'll make sure it's clean all the way around. I probably would have preferred to stamp first and then, okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is, right? So, so there's that guy. That's one, I didn't really design it ahead. I was a little bit spontaneous about it, but oh my gosh, look how cute. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of twine right there. I could even take, so this little circle. Nope, oh, you know what? This is funny, actually. I am gonna do this. No peeking and open me. It's just silliness. I'm just gonna do it. We were laughing about that in class yesterday. So I am gonna do that. So I've got my hat here. I actually would prefer the red one, I think. So I'm gonna do open me. Just how silly is this? What kind of mixed message is that? That's hilarious. I can't wait to give that to somebody. But anyway, that was one of the, it's one of the tags that comes in Sending Chair, comes in your kit, and that's one of the sentiments is open me. So we were laughing about that. We were like, oh my gosh, what if you used both at the same time? It's just silly. So I'm gonna put a little bit of twine in there, and then that's gonna be one of my tags. Actually, this may not fit into my wonderful tag box. It's a bit large, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and tie a little knot, and that's it. That's just a fun, like, and I will take pictures of all of these. Honestly, it's just a fun, spontaneous thing to do. So we took a look at the rectangle to use it as the envelope that it is, or you could just use it as a tag base and have some fun with it, right? You could put the stocking on it, you could put it any direction. So that's that guy. So other things in the kit, I kind of showed you that. That could be open me or no peeking or any of the other small sentiments. So that's fine. I kind of showed you what you could do with the oval. So that's that guy. Some other examples of tags and some other examples of what comes in the kit. So now we're getting to the point where we really have assembled, I mean, we really have put together all of our elements. So you can take a bunch of tag bases and now you can start to assemble your elements. And so, but I did think about one more thing you could do. If you've got designer series paper, you can very easily cut out just an image from the designer series paper. Again, put a little hole punch in that guy, call him a tag, add them to a tag so you can start to create and assemble your own version. This guy, you could absolutely put to and from on the back, right? So, so those are all of your different options. So from here now, also in the kit, you get a number of, you get 5 stitched circles, small, you get 5 stitched circles, large, 5 tailored tags, large, 5 small tailored tags, and you got 5 of these. I already showed you what you could do with that guy, right? I already showed you you can stamp on it as intended, or you could, you know, just add an element to it, add that cute little Santa hat. So we've already got the rectangle. The circle, So an idea that we could do with the circle, and we've got a small and we've got a large. So let's look at that. I'm going to take my stocking because we haven't done something with the stocking yet. So I'm going to take my stocking with my little heart, and let's see which size he works better on. You know what? I kind of like him on the large circle. So again, I could use just that, or I could add him. I could add it right there so that that becomes the loop for the tag. So I think I'm going to do that. And this is all, well, I know I said design your images ahead of time, and then I'm kind of being spontaneous. So that is, I could exactly copy exactly what I've done with all the ones that I've shown you. And to some degree I am, right? So like for this one, I actually am doing this. I'm doing it a little bit differently, right? So we're kind of copying what we've done. So it's a little bit of, you can be spontaneous now that you have all your elements, or you could do it exactly. You could take, I could make this exactly. And as a matter of fact, to be consistent with my training, I will do that. So I've got the large circle. I've got a stocking. Now this one's a little different designer series paper. I'm going to choose to put it a little bit higher up because I do want that tag loop. So I've got that right there. And then I could do an open me, or I could do, you know what, I'm going to do sending cheer just because we haven't seen that design yet. But that sentiment yet, but you could absolutely put open me. You can put any of the sentiments. So I'm going to put sending cheer, and I'm going to do that in garden green because I like a little bit of green and I like a little bit of red when I'm doing my Christmas cards. And so I'm just going to do that. Super simple, Simon. And then you could sign the back of it. But you could take it another step up and you could add some gems. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And let's take a look. So I love this little heart. And I'm going to go ahead and add, I just love this little heart. I cut out a bunch of them, and frankly, if I don't use them all for Christmas, I'll probably use them for Valentine's. So I've got that guy. And then I think I'm just going to put one above and below. So this would be just a super cute tag. Again, I've got my element, I've got my sentiment, I've got my gems, and I've got my ability to add a little loop right there. So, and this would go great on your larger things. So this is one box that we're going to make. We're also making next week. No, in 2 weeks, we're making a large bag. So I wouldn't necessarily put this large circle on this guy. It's a bit dominant, but we're going to make a large bag that's multiple sheets of designer series paper. So that would go great on your larger items. So that's that guy. We've got a small tailored tag, a large tailored tag, and a small stitch circle. So let's take a look at what we can do there. If we fussy cut our little Santa, we can put fussy cut Santa there. And actually I can do the thing where I kind of swing, so I'm not going to attach them. So design type number 2 is the element with the tag tied. I'm loving this to and from, because really when you give a gift, what are some of the main things you want to say? Who's it to and who's it from? And you want to make sure you've got that clear. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the to and from behind. This particular Santa is from designer series paper that is called like Traditions of Saint Nick, and I love it, and I use it a lot in the 12 weeks of Christmas. And so he's got some great stamps too that are super pretty and could be colored nicely. Okay, so I'm putting a little hole, not in Santa's face. I'm putting a little hole just right there. I could use a brad to put those two together. So in your kit, or you could buy some brads. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put a little brad in here so that I've got those together. And then I can put a little piece of, I'm calling it a cap. I can put a little like cap right there, but I think it looks better actually like that. I'm going to leave it like that. I've got my to and my from. I could What else would I do? I don't know if I love that brad actually. So I'm gonna take that out. I'm just gonna keep my twine. Just gonna use my twine, same as I always did. And go ahead and have that for a tag that can hang. So we'll go ahead and add the twine. And then I think you get the idea. It's the same idea with the small tailored tag, and it's the same idea with the small stitch circle. Of course, you're going to pick elements that are a little bit smaller, right? So kind of the larger things with the larger ones and smaller ones with the smaller ones. If you had different sentiments you wanted to use, you could do that. So, okay, so now that's an example of example 2. The element and the tag are tied together. They're not adhered, they're not anything. And so that's super cute. So that's that guy. And what's the final thing? So stitch circle and small tag. What else do we have? Well, we didn't use the gift, so I'll use the gift. And we didn't use little Gingy, so I'll use little Gingy. So the gift, I'm gonna put right here. And so I would take the time to undo that and put those two together, and then I would just do a to and from right there. And then for Gingy, I think that Gingy needs some color behind it. So how are we going to solve that? We're going to figure out how to solve that. So those two, I would just add together like that. And then for Gingy, I mean, I've used Gingy plain, super cute. I don't know that I've actually attached Gingy to anybody. So for this guy, I might actually take a piece of designer series paper, put it across, adhere my little gingerbread, and I think that's what we're gonna have right there. So I'm gonna adhere it, and then I'm gonna snip the extra off of it. So again, if you subscribe to my emails, I will send you a PDF that has all these photos. And if you're interested in the kit, happy to accommodate that. And interested in getting the sending dies, I'm happy to accommodate that. Or if you're just going to be inspired to do some mass production, I hope that this helped inspire you. So there we go. There's our little gingerbread. I'm going to put some dimensionals on. There we go. I actually love to create PDFs. They take some time and some care, but I am going to take pictures of all of the tags that I have here, and so you can just have a whole gallery of options that you look at, and I'll write up some of the instructions and I'll write up some of the supplies. So that's that. There's one other one that I thought I would show that's kind of cute, and that is, this is a 6x3 piece of designer series paper, piece of cardstock. You 6x3 basic white thick cardstock, score it 3.5, and then I cut designer series paper to fit and layer all the way around, and you can go ahead and get those measurements out of the PDF. Then I'm going to put a little brad in there. I'm going to cover it with my brad cap that I had so that you don't see it. I'm going to cover the back, add a little tag in there, and then you've got this guy. So the instructions will be in the PDF for that as well, but basically it's 6x3 cardstock, score it 3.5, fold it, cut all your designer series paper to match, put a little brad through a tag right there, put a little capper on it, cover the back of the designer series paper, and then that's a fun tag that again you could add to, you could tuck in with a plant, you could add it to a large bag, etc. So let me just take a gander. I've got all the ways to use. So some other ways to use tags, you can put it on a simple card. We're going to be showing that later. You could put it on your tag box. Like all of the 12 weeks that I've done are gonna have tags. You store them in your cute little tag box. And so you've got a nice, that's another completely different product, but that's a fun one where I've just attached it right to the tag. So, I mean, there are just so many things to do. So I think I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna thank you for joining today. Okay, bye-bye.